Hey. Hey Emma, thank you for hopping on a quick call with me. Can you please introduce yourself a little bit? Who are you? Where are you from? And what were you doing before joining the program?
Okay, yeah. So my name's Emma. I'm originally from the Highlands of Scotland, but I haven't lived there in, gosh, like 15 years now. I basically I went traveling. I went to Australia like 15 years ago. Met my husband there. We both worked for like a sort of like a high-end hospitality business in Melbourne. And
Okay.
then once our visas kind of ran out, we were a bit like, what do we do now? Because we couldn't place ourselves back in the UK. So, because
Mm.
my husband's also he's from England. So
Okay.
then we sort of started a different journey. We spent our winters like running a chalet in the Alps, and then we went to the summers. We went primarily to south of France, where we are now, working on yachts.
Mm.
So we did that for about well, my husband still works on a yacht now, but I've had to stop that because we have a daughter now. She's just over 2, so
Yeah.
yeah, that
Cute
was kind of
age.
yeah, oh yeah. She's funny. She's a character. I was kind of becoming her own little person. It's quite funny, but
Mm.
yeah. So I wasn't able to continue with that type of work. It just wasn't going to work. It's not practical. So we're now sort of living in the south of France, obviously near where my husband is. His the boat is based. So yeah, I suppose I I joined this program to try and figure out a different path for me, something that I could do for myself,
Yeah.
something that worked around our life, because it's quite a different sort of setup, and that obviously we don't live near any of our family,
Mm.
so
And
there's
is
no one
your
here.
husband also away, like for times when he works on the yacht and then he comes back?
Yeah, so he's away a lot in the summer months.
Ah,
So from sort
okay.
of like May to September, he's kind
Yeah.
of away quite a lot.
Mm.
So it's difficult for me to because my daughter's still quite young as well. I mean, I have her in childcare just 2 days a week at the moment. I think I might have to increase that to 3 days in the summer just so that I can, because you've got everything to kind of contend with. Like, you've
Yeah.
got to on top of the house. We've got a very energetic spaniel dog as well, and so yeah,
Yeah.
it's a bit hectic. So I suppose I didn't want to. A lot of people in our industry, what they do is when they become land based, they work for like yachting agencies or, to recruit crew and things like that. But I just
Okay.
wasn't interested in doing that. So, and I didn't like the idea of going and working for a company and just, it's not very flexible. Especially with our lifestyle and like having our daughter here, I didn't want to just pass her to a childminder 5 days a week,
Yeah,
while she
exactly.
was so little and not kind of be a part of her upbringing. I wanted to find something that I could build on over time and it was just mine.
Yeah.
So that's why I started the course because I wanted to find something I could build on myself.
Yeah.
And I like the sort of creative aspect. So I was looking, I was kind of more, I was quite intrigued by the sort of design aspect and the
Hmm.
branding and things. So yeah, I was quite yeah, it came at the right time, I think.
Cool. Yeah. So I think you went in quite a different direction with your niche, right? Because you said you kind of like came from the yachting industry.
Mm.
Um. So yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
just
it's,
wanted.
it's not like a normal, I suppose, working on the yachts, like, unless you're part of this little bubble world, like people are like, oh, whenever you say, oh, you work on yachts, it's like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that.
Hmm.
It's not a normal sort of, well, whatever normal is these days.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like it's not like a normal career choice, if you know what I mean. just
Hmm.
we just kind of
Yeah.
fell into it through the hospitality side. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's been good. We've traveled a lot with it, so it's been
Yeah.
great.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
So what would you say is like the most valuable part of the program for you?
I think just the wealth of knowledge. Like I mean, there's so much to learn from. Um, it's just in every aspect, and it's because I did a course before my daughter was born. I started looking
Hmm.
into this type of stuff, but
Okay.
the course that I did wasn't. it just wasn't as in depth at all. It was it kind of just covered the surface of everything. It kind of it said that it kind of would give you the ability to set up your own business, but it didn't give you all the information to learn the skills. It didn't give you all of the knowledge and of all the little steps that it takes to build your business, basically. And I think the thing with this course is that I found, you know, you really, everything's covered, you know, like there's a lot to cover, and you know, it takes
there's a lot,
obviously time to, yeah, but that's great because at least you know that you've, if there's something you're not sure about, it's going to be in the program.
Yeah, and I think even if it's not there, like we take the feedback from the students, right, and we try to edit and upgrade it or keep it up to date as much as possible.
Yeah, no, of course, I've been up to date. It's just, yeah, it was, but also I was going to say, sorry, the, like, obviously having the one-on-one coaching as well. So obviously I had used my coach, and, you know, that's been amazing because that's invaluable, really, you know, having someone that you can, and, you know, ask loads of questions to, and you know that they're going to support you and give you the answers and, or point you in the right direction. Do you know what I mean? That, that's been incredible as well. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. So what would you say is like your biggest accomplishment since joining the program?
I think just for me, I think just actually getting through it. I think like that's been a massive achievement, because at the start I was like, I think, you know, I was like, oh, I'm not sure, like, you know, I just wasn't sure of my abilities to like be able to focus and sit down and get it done, because you know, obviously life is hectic. I mean, it is for everyone, and I think, you know, our daughter's not particularly good at sleeping, so I'm, you know, already going off sleep deprivation is hard, and I just thought, oh my gosh, am I going to manage to do this? And I think that's been amazing. And then obviously, like, I just seem to, you know, a friend of mine, so she's kind of effectively my beta client, my first client, and I've been doing a lot of stuff for her business because she just happens setting up something out here, doing like training for stewardesses on yachts and stuff. And I love all the creative businesses and stuff as well. Like I did some branding for a friend of mine a few years ago when I did my other course. It's nice to have that first client you can kind of give things to, and she's been delighted with everything I've done. And I'm almost surprised when she's like, oh my God, I love it. And I'm like,
yeah, but I also feel like when I gave you feedback, you're also a little bit surprised when I say, oh my God, it's so good. Like you almost don't believe it, but yeah, believe in yourself, because really you're doing it so good. And I think that's also, a good thing that you found your passion in that, because obviously in the beginning, everyone is looking a little bit about like, what's going to be my thing? So it's good that you're going to hone in on design. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So before joining the program, like, what were your thoughts about investing into it? Did you have like any thoughts on that? And what made you decide to jump in?
So I think, you know, obviously I was just a bit kind of cautious because I know there's so many courses out there. And it's something I've always had in the back of my mind since my daughter was born as well. And like I say, I did a course before, and I think I didn't feel like the course that I did before delivered everything it said it would. So I think I was just a little bit, you know, cautious of whether it was real, and like whether, not real, obviously it's real, but just kind of whether it would deliver what it was saying it was going to give you the information. And it 100% did. I mean, I think I had my initial call with, I think it was Irene, and then I think it was Georgia that I spoke to secondly. And, you know, I just had a good chat with her, and I explained, you know, I think I asked her, I was like, is it realistic for me to think that I can do this? Or, like, because I just thought, I mean, I don't know. I just thought it was, I don't know, until you start something, you don't really know. But I think she kind of made me, like, reassured me. And obviously I watched all the feedback from previous students and stuff as well. And I could see it obviously was doing what it said it would do for you. So And I think at that point in my life, I was just like, I need to do this now because I keep thinking about it.
Yeah.
And this has obviously come along when it's meant to, and I need to just take that opportunity and do it instead of thinking about it and letting it pass. So yeah, no, I'm delighted that I
Yeah.
actually decided to do
Yeah,
it
like
instead
you
of
said, it
letting it
was like
pass.
the right time for you.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Cool.
100%. Yeah.
So, what if someone right now is watching this and they are like doubting whether or not they should join? What would you tell them?
Oh, just to go for it. I mean, I think, like I say, that just all the knowledge that you get on the skills and like learning the skills and the assignments as well. Obviously, like from the start, you're kind of put out of your comfort zone, and I know I felt very like, oh gosh, I don't feel comfortable. But then obviously to learn and to progress, you have to go through that.
Yes.
And I think that really helped. It really helped to have, it helps to have the community and stuff as well. And you can see that everyone's, taking their little steps every week and getting somewhere and improving and progressing. And yeah, I think I don't, I, even just now, I sort of think, oh, I wonder, if I hadn't, if I would have been kicking myself if I hadn't done it before, and just made
Yeah.
that first step, because it does seem, I think everyone's in a different situation. And whether you're a complete beginner or whether you're just trying to build on a business you already have. I know for me, I'm like right at the beginning, so I just felt like it was such a long time away. But obviously, every step that you take, if you don't take that step, then you're not going to get anywhere near where you want to be. So you have to take that initial step to start the process,
Yeah.
and it definitely gives you that. It takes you through the process of building up a business. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you can definitely be super proud of yourself, as you say, like life is sometimes a little bit hectic with like the little one
Mm.
and other stuff going on. But if you just take like, because you've been like very consistent, like you took like even if they're like small steps, you
Yeah.
kept taking them. So
Yeah.
it's already
I
an
think, yeah, I
accomplishment.
know. I think that's for me at the start. I knew that my pace wasn't going to be as fast as some people, because I know, and also even in the summer, I'm already trying to think how I can like adapt. Well, because my husband's not going to be here. So
Yeah.
I need to like think of a way that I can, I'm trying to think of systems, like how am I going to do this? Like, if I'm here on my own, daughter,
Yeah.
crazy dog, and like just the house, and I'm just already thinking and planning in my head how I can, what time I can use, like the maximum, if you know what I mean, to actually
Yeah.
keep
No,
going
I
with
think
it.
yeah, that's very important, I think. Definitely if you have like a busy schedule, it's good to
Mm.
think ahead and then actually block out the times where you're actually gonna do the stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Well, you're welcome. Pleasure.